Here's a question that's going to be popping up a lot this week. How are Americans seeing Donald Trump these days? It's a question that's going to come up this week in particular because this is the week when we hit that magical, mythical 100 days in office mark for the new president. And that's usually an opportunity for lots of people, mostly those of us in the press, to step back and take stock of how the president is doing. A lot of different ways to answer the question, obviously, but here's an interesting one that I found in the new Wall Street Journal NBC News poll, in which we asked, is Donald Trump a typical Republican or not a typical Republican? And only 10% of the people that we surveyed found Donald Trump to be, in their eyes, a typical Republican. Obviously, that means the vast majority of Americans do not consider him a typical Republican. 43% said he's not a typical Republican, and that's a good thing. 39% said he's not a typical Republican, and that's a bad thing. He's breaking the mold. He's seen as a different kind of politician and a change agent. That was a big, compelling argument in his campaign for president. This may represent a kind of a wasted asset for the president because I don't think he's taken full advantage of that profile to establish that he's a different kind of Republican who can set up new and different kinds of coalitions to govern. He's kind of moved into the more conservative Republican track in terms of building coalitions in Washington. You saw that when he tried to use Republican-only votes to pass a repeal and replace Obamacare bill. That fell apart because conservatives didn't follow him down that path as faithfully as he wanted. I think the problem for the president in this regard has been that he started out with a couple of issues, that health care issue and the travel ban that had the effect of driving away Democrats and driving Republicans into a partisan corner, didn't create any middle ground that the president could seize as the kind of a new kind of a centrist, nonpartisan leader. I think the opportunity lies ahead, just around the corner, in fact, when the president tries to do tax reform and infrastructure spending, places where he can look like he's bipartisan or nonpartisan and take advantage of that. He's not a typical Republican leader image that he's already got in his pocket.